we're interviewing Frank Garcher of Midwest Model Company. And hi, Frank. How have you been doing?
Great.
Okay, it's good. Okay, Frank, I'd like to ask, when did Midwest Models begin?
Well, we started my partner started back in 1938.
Okay.
37, 38. I came on board in 1940 in the 7th grade. Worked 2 years of grammar school, 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, and then I bought into the company. And in 1950 we moved it from Chicago to Miller Beach. And in 1960 we moved it to Hobart. We've been in Hobart 35 years now.
Okay. Now, what was the first plane that you manufactured?
Well, we did a series of gliders, and then the first big airplane that we manufactured was a rubber-powered 3-foot span airplane called a Gollywalk.
Okay, and it's rubber-powered?
It's rubber-powered, and we did a Gollywalk, a Jabberwock, and a Dynamo, and those were the start of really our kit business.
And when were those introduced?
Those were introduced back in 38, 39. It's been an evolution. The industry has evolved from indoor models to outdoor models, rubber powered, to gas powered models, to U-control where they fly on the 2 strings, to flying a radio control model. And just this year we were up at Circus in Las Vegas and ran the tournament of champions up there. And one of my engineers, Mike McConville, came in 8th in the top 20 model builders in the world. Mr. Bennett from Circus has this tournament of champions, and they were flying airplanes that weighed anywhere from 28 pounds to 45 pounds. And he put up $250,000 worth of cash prizes. So it's the model game now is starting to get into big numbers.
Big numbers, right? Okay, now how do you design your aircraft?
We have 3 designers back in the plant: Mike McConville, Ross Hieronymus, and AJ, and they conceive, build, fly, and then proceed to kit airplanes, boats, bridges, anything to do with the model works.
Does it involve computer work and so forth?
Oh yes, we have a complete CAD system with a 3D
imagery graphics,
right?
Okay. Now, what are some of the types of planes you're manufacturing?
Well, we go from the little wind-up airplanes that we sell to schools, and this year we made approximately 250,000 models, the wind-up models, to introduce students in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade to model aviation.
And how many planes have you manufactured since the company began? Just a rough figure.
Oh boy, that's great. We've probably done over 1 million Delta Darts already, and probably 200,000, 250,000 models.
Okay.
One of the basics of Midwest Products is that we are a wood processor. That means we import wood from Guayaquil, Ecuador. It is kiln dried down there, sent out to us in 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch blocks. We then grade it in our plant. We cut it to 3-inch widths, 4-inch widths, 6-inch widths, and then we sheet it from a 32nd of an inch to a 3x3 or 3x6 block, 36 inches long.
Now, what would be a good plane for the beginner?
We have one of the, I think, the better ones on the market right now. It's called an Aerostar 40, and it is set up for your first airplane. We have what we call the Success Series, in which every airplane every kit that comes out, we have about 140-page manual, and this manual tells you how to, what to buy, what tools to get, and then we go step by step, so that if you can't build this airplane, we recommend you take up tennis or golf, because this thing is almost foolproof.
Okay, and this is a radio-controlled model.
Right.
Okay, now what size engine would that,
Takes a 40 size engine, which is equivalent of about a 1-horse engine now, in a lightweight engine. And it's got a 54-inch span, almost 5 feet.
That's pretty large. Plane visibility and so forth. Okay, now are the planes you're manufacturing available locally or on a national level?
They're available on a national level. We sell around the world. In fact, I'm leaving. Admiral Gala and myself are leaving for Europe on the 31st of January. We're going to Nuremberg. Ed is going to be there 7 days. And then I will continue my trip. I'm going to Leipzig to look at a plant that makes covering, and then I will go on to the Czech Republic to Prague to visit some model plants there and come back on the 15th or 16th.
Okay. Now, where do you see Midwest in the future?
Well, the woodworking operation that we sell. Now, we sell Ace Hardware. We sell Michaels. We're into Payless. And we're into all the hobby shops around the country, and we do the basics with the sheet wood and the strip wood, and that I think that will continue on for a long time. The kit business, we're always exploring, because there's always new developments. The latest thing now is the electric powered radio control model.
Correct.
And it's clean, and it's neat and quiet.
And almost foolproof.
All you have to do is plug it in and make sure the battery's charged, and away you go.
Okay, as for giant scale, will you be going into the giant scale industry?
We make 2 giant scales right now. We make an AT6, and we make a Extra 300S, the stunt plane from Germany. And we have, in my trip, I'm going to Leipzig to look at a plant that makes covering, and then I will go on to the Czech Republic to Prague to visit some model plants there and come back on the 15th or 16th.
Okay. Now, where do you see Midwest in the future?
Well, the woodworking operation that we sell. Now, we sell Ace Hardware. We sell Michaels. We're into Payless. And we're into all the hobby shops around the country. And we do the basics with the sheet wood and the strip wood. And that I think that will continue on for a long time. The kit business, we're always exploring, because there's always new developments. The latest thing now is the electric powered radio control model.
Correct.
And it's clean, and it's neat and quiet.
And almost foolproof.
All you have to do is plug it in and make sure the battery's charged, and away you go.
Okay, as for giant scale, will you be going into the giant scale industry?
We make 2 giant scales right now. We make an AT6, and we make a Extra 300S, the stunt plane from Germany. And we have other plans coming. We'll probably do 1 or 2 every year. They're up to 103-inch wingspans.
It's rather large.
Yeah.
Now, how many skills going into that? Or?
Well, we're doing right, like I say, we're doing an AT6, which is scale, and we're doing the extra 300. Now you have to take some license to make them for the models to really fly, but they're really close to scale.
Okay. Now, as for the duck fan industry, will you be taking a step into that? Or?
We were in fact, we were one of the originals in the ducted fan, and we teamed up with a fellow by the name of Bob Crest. Now, Mr. Crest is going on his own. Ducted fan is something that is at the top of the pyramid. The elite model builders seem to fly this because of the cost. They're doing 150 to 180 miles an hour with ducted fans now.
What models did you start out in the duck fan industry?
We made a couple trainers for them, and then we made a Skyraider, a ducted fan Skyraider, and at that time the power of the engines weren't great enough. Now they've doubled it, instead of an 049, put an 09 engine in it, in the same size case as the 049, and so the power is there. The bigger engines are developing 1 or 2 horsepower, and they will do 150 miles an hour to 180 miles an hour. The latest thing in fans, though, is there are turbines out now.
Yes, I know. There's various manufacturers and so forth.
Right, and they are $3,500, and
inexpensive,
but they are beautifully engineered pieces.
Beautiful, and they also are for the advanced model builder.
Right.
Not really preferred for the beginner.
Yes.
Okay, if you would not mind giving us a tour of your factory,
sure.
Facility.
If you look around the room, you'll see the kind of things we do. Behind me is a airboat up above, sitting on top of my 48-inch live steam engine, and this thing can run anywhere from about, well, a kit will run $3,000 or $4,000. By the time you build it and everything else, it can run you $10,000 to $15,000 to have it done.
And it's a real working boiler and so forth.
Yes, it'll pull 4 cars with 4 live adults on them. And
a little train there.
Yes, and if you go out to the Michigan-Indiana border, there is a live steam engine club out there that they run when the weather's good, and you can see all the different sizes of steam engines that are out there. We're also in the dollhouse business, which is over here, and this is an exact scale dollhouse. We do the clapboard siding and the shingles and the flooring, and all of the molding. The furniture we bought, and we were at one time representing this company that does the furniture, but the lady has since passed away. So the dollhouse industry is still big. It's interesting to see where they go, but it's model works. In the glass case over here are some of the mementos of my trips to Europe and China.
And so, well, these foreign countries, are they as large in the model industry as, as advanced?
Europe is, England is, Germany is, France and Spain are, Italy is. Czechoslovakia has about 32,000 registered model makers, not builders, but makers, and they're craftsmen. And it looks like, again, we're into this worldwide market with Japan and Taiwan, and now China is interested in really developing model builders. So and China is now manufacturing engines and kits.
So I know that most of our radio systems and so forth for Japan and our engines and so forth are the larger manufacturers. So
right.
It's interesting to know,
The radio business is controlled by the Japanese.
Yes. You don't see too many American manufacturers manufacturing radio systems.
Well, you have an outfit in Nevada, Arizona that's doing radio control. But Futaba is one of the biggest. JR Radios from Japan is next in line, and JR is gaining speed on Futaba. And it looks like there is Aerotronics, which is manufactured in Japan and distributed by Aerotronics in California. This is our latest. These are our stimulants, and we can run a normal pack is about 2 inches wide, 2 inches square. We can run about 35,000 of these a day, and we have 3 machines. Each machine's capable of that, and they're dental stimulants.
So in other words, you're manufacturing products for many things.
Yeah, we do an OEM manufacturing for this for an outfit in New Jersey in competition with Johnson & Johnson. And is our big one is powered by a 108 Moki, and this one will do just about everything that the big one will do. And this one was manufactured in Malaysia, and they would like us to become their supplier, distributor for the United States. The Asians are great craftsmen, and they do beautiful work on model airplanes. This one will come just like you see it, completely built, covered, and ready to fly.
It's an ARF.
It's an ARF, yeah. To the German airplanes that we made called the stick line. It was ugly stick. And to the right of the ugly sticks you'll see N2186, which is a model of one of my full-size airplanes.
So you're a full-size pilot?
Right, it's a powered glider. Okay. Bundles of balsa wood that come in from Ecuador. They are put on a sea tainer, floated up through the Panama Canal up to Florida. Then they're thrown on a piggyback and brought to our door. We used to lose about 10% of the wood because they were thrown on a boat, and then they had to be hand loaded in New York, and we'd lose about 10% of the load. Now the sea tainer seals it in Ecuador, and it comes right to our door. We have no loss at all now. We take this wood and we have to grade it, hand grade it, probably about 6 or 8 times. We go through the wood, handling it, looking at it, grading it for about 7 or 8 different things, for wind checks, for straight grain, for a bunch of chop in a second. This is all the wood that's been graded, and we handle a variety of woods. We handle spruce, walnut, cherry, maple, mahogany, balsa wood, and basswood. All of these pieces here are graded and ready for people. We manufacture most of the equipment the Midwest uses here. It's designed, developed, and put on the line. You can't go outside to buy equipment like we have.
So specially made for your purposes.
Yeah. I've got 3 people here, and a fellow by the name of Bud Blair, that's our octogenarian engineer, and he's 83 years old, 84 years old, and he comes in when he wants to, and goes when he wants, goes home when he wants to, but he's here most of the time. These 2 machines have been developed to make this 2x2 stimulant size dental toothpick. We can run probably 30,000 a day off of each machine, and they are made of, the dental toothpicks are made of basswood. Originally they were made of balsa wood, and we couldn't get the consistency out of balsa wood. Balsa wood will run from 4 pounds to about 14 pounds, 15 pounds per cubic foot. Basswood is a consistent 18 to 19 pounds per cubic foot, and the doctors like the basswood. The customers, the people that buy it, really like the balsa wood. But as we go along, we're trying to develop a machine that will weed out all the lightweight balsa wood and only give us the hard balsa wood that we need. Now is barcoded, and it's pre-printed on a machine I'll show you in a second that will pre-print the size. We feed into a computer the size, balsa wood, and a number, 6509, whatever the number is, and it will automatically pre-print basswood, 1/32 by 4 by 24, and barcode it. They are bundled, 20 to a bundle. And the labels are pre-printed as the machine is running, and it will count out 10 sheets and then push a bundle aside. As you can see, these are sheets of 1/32, and the tolerance is plus or minus 1/1000. Very few people in the woodworking industry make those tolerances or keep those tolerance kits for our museum. These are some of the kits that we have manufactured, and as I go along I try to pick up the original kits. This kit, you have to get up there. This kit was there you go. This kit was developed in 1938, and we're still kitting it, except this was $1.95, and the kit now is $32.95.
Is that original model in 38?
Yeah, those were, and we try to collect all of these, as you see. We try to collect them, the models, as it goes along. What we're doing now is every time we make a kit now, I have 2 kits run off. We put a date in it and mark it. Like this was manufactured 2/26/92, and the first 2 kits off of an assembly line are put into the museum up here now. There has to be about $30,000 worth of airplanes up here. This is magazines that I've collected back into the, starting in the 50s. And we now, every year when we get a magazine, a year's worth of magazines, we will skin wrap them and bring them up here so that...
Hello, hi. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of American Kitbuilt Planes, where we interviewed Frank Garch. Next week we have another exciting edition of American Kitbuilt Planes. I hope you could join us. So till then, I'm your host Ryan Lynn saying goodbye.